Aloha, Richard Halverson here. This is ICS321, and today I'm going to finish up. This is probably the last video of the course. I'm going to finish up uh, Assignment 7, giving you some tips on how to do the Campus Cuisine APIs at the end. So let me share my screen. All right, so I have the assignments list showing here, and we're incidentally, there were a few of you that were unable to uh, get zyBooks to have some of you weren't able to access the textbook, and so for those we decided just to make a second assignment, and it's the same idea where just doing it, you get the points just for doing it. There's no right or wrong answers. We're just curious about what your answers are, and some of these are purposely made sort of not covered so much in the course, and then others are, and so on. So, but just basically do them, and so okay. And these are just for those of you that didn't have access to zyBooks. The zyBooks assignment, I think, is quite a bit easier because you only have to go through like 10 pages, and so that's like almost. I mean, there's lots of modules. There's lots of modules in a chapter even. So basically, we just want to see what that data looks like because it captures a lot of information, and maybe I'd like to work it into my future courses. So anyway, so you're doing a favor for me there. So let's go to assignment 7. And so we have, last video I showed you how to do how to get this thing going pretty much, and you can watch there's a link here right here to that video. And then for part 2, we made these server-side APIs and the RESTful application programmer interfaces. So if you do any kind of mobile applications or anything where it's a heavy client, there's a lot of functionality in the client, like with a mobile app, and the client just sends these little requests back and forth to the server for data. Those kind of interfaces, APIs, they take in a set of name value pairs, which is the parameter or the arguments, and then the API sends back a JSON JavaScript object module that contains the requested information. And so that's what these 3 APIs are. And this is more about learning about APIs than becoming clever API programmers or demonstrating an ability to develop new APIs on your own. I just want to give you some practice creating these APIs so you experience that and you see what they are, and then in your future courses you'll surely be able to see. Whenever you're writing JavaScript, you can just do these little requests to the server and get back data, and create tables and so on, using Angular or any of the other JScript support kind of client-side tools. So so you have copied these 3 APIs into your web server, and if you go to the main page, and for my account it's joeschmo.ics321.com. I've got another one, Richard. My other test account is this one, Richard H at ICS, and you have one. So so yours should look like this by now, and maybe none of these things work, and so if we can confirm that none of them work, we can click on them for one, and we get these error messages, and this is because we haven't told it who the user and the password is. You have to fill those fields in, and that's the same for all of these. Um, and also there's this test form PHP in here, which you should have got running at the end of the last video, where down here it displays what the contents of your database is on your server, the Campus Cuisine Place, table, which is what this is all about, keeping track of this. And then these three little forms here actually make calls, or they try to access your APIs. And so so if we actually and then I think what I forgot to show you is that you go to this our test form here, this thing that helps us know this actually scores your assignment. And so if you get to find out, if you do your assignment on time, then you get to find out before we find out whether you did something wrong, and then you can just fix it. So that's the idea here. So these are loaded up, and the first one, see, I'm on Joshmo. Yes, it detected the API there. That's because you loaded it in there. But then whenever it tried to do anything, it got back these errors. And so so you actually got 6 points for downloading it in there, but you see it wasn't able to access denied for accessing the database and so on. So when you fix it, these errors will go away. And so that's the same for all three of them. Okay, so so let's dive in here and see if we can get these going. What does this one look like? Replace is this? It detects it there, but it tries to do a delete, and it didn't do it, and so on. And so the third, okay, and the third one is search places. Let's see, I go back this way, and I go to testing the search places. It goes through and does the same thing. Now, this is pretty. We're going to refer back to this later, because we're going to actually write in. Right now, this thing only. It doesn't even get that right. Well, it's pretty easy to get the first one right. All you have to do is put in the username and password. Your username and password. But then the rest of them require parameters, and the whole idea of this assignment is how to handle the parameters. You have to write the PHP that generates the SQL that handles the parameters. All right, so if we go to let's see, I did want to make one little modification in our little forms.php to make it more. I'm going to change the methods from post to get, and that way it just creates the name value pairs in the query string, so you can actually see that. That's kind of makes more sense. So let's see if this works. So if I try to search for UHM, that's right, it doesn't work. Wait a second though. I have to go back and refresh this. Okay, let me try it again. UHM. You see, and up here you see that the parameters are passed in the URL. It passed in UHM for campus, and for cuisine it passed in nothing, and for place it passed in nothing. So my point is that you don't even really need this form to test. You can just test using the URL, and so that's what makes these APIs so simple to create. I mean, it really changes the division of labor when it comes to developing applications from the old days. So you see, I can just go to a new web page and paste in that URL, In fact, I can put something else in there if I wanted to. Let's say I want to find Italian cuisine. I can go, well, it's not going to work because the thing doesn't work. But so that would return, the favorite Italian place at UHM. All right, when this works. Okay, so if we go to so I've done that. What I just did is I changed the form method to get instead of post. If it were post, you wouldn't see it. You wouldn't see the name value pairs. The name value pairs are hidden. So in a sense, that's more secure. And so let's now go to okay. So we're done with this. I'm going to close this. So let's get the first one to work. And so I'm going to edit this. And what you need to do is, I think when you get this, the user is empty and the password is empty. So you just have to put in your username here and your password here. And if you notice, everything else kind of takes care of itself. So let me go back to here. These variables come in, and the request system array accepts either a post or a get from a form. If you want it just to be post, it's underscore post. If you want it just to be get, it's underscore get. So that way you can enforce one or the other if you want to. But when you use request, then it accepts either. So this loads up the variables. But when you define this user, then that also defines your website, and it also defines the first part of all of the names of all your databases. And the main thing is that it's a argument into the MySQL connect method, which connects to your database. You've got your database here, and so on. Your host is your website. And then this simply sets up an SQL statement which calls your add place, which, by the way, I guess this has to work. This has to work before this method. You can debug a large part of it, but eventually your add place program your add place stored procedure has to work before this thing can be tested. So anyway, just do that. This is not my password. If in the next two, I'm going to actually put my password. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So anyway, that's that. I didn't change anything there. So let's go get remove place to work, and I can edit this. And so here I would put me, JSCHMOE, and I'll put my password in there. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to be sneaky and go over here, and I'm going to put okay. All right. And then, so I did that, except for I put the real password in there and saved it. So now let's go back to okay, let's go to our form. Where's our form? It's must be this one. Yes. And let's test. See, it was remove a place, right? That we just got. We just did. Yes, remove a place. So I'm going to try to remove a place here. So I'm going to try to remove. I'm going to try to remove. I gotta say the campus and the place. UHWO Chili's Grill and Bar. Okay, I'm going to copy this into here, and I'm going to copy this into here. And I'm going to remove it, see what happens. Chili's Grill and Bar was removed as a UHWO favorite. And see, this is what the URL to the server, to your server, actually sent the campus, sent the place, and it was to the remove place program. And this is what it sent back. And this particular browser, this Firefox, and also because this, you put a header here, you said content type application/JSON, and that's the first thing that came out, first thing that printed out. So that can set what kind of file it is that's coming. And so the browser was smart enough to switch over to display this JSON object, as you see here, and the error code is 0. So I bet you now, if we go back to here and go and do test remove API, we got all the points. All right, very cool. So we got that one working. Let's you can get the add place working after you get your restore procedure working. But the search places, that's the interesting one. So let's go to where we are with that. I'm going to close this, and this is fine. Let's go to search places. Edit. So what we have here now, I think that, we put in our user and we put in our password, and then we need to fill in this. I kind of started you out with what the SQL statement, the built-up SQL statement looks like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to be fancy here, and I'm going to also return, let me just, is there a message? What's the message? The message is not set to anything, is it? Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set the message to the SQL statement so I can see what that SQL statement is. Okay? Clever me. All right, so I'm going to save this. And then I'm going to do search. Okay, so I'm going to search UHM, and I'm going to click search places. Oh, I forgot to fill in my user and password. So my user is jschmo, and my password is shoots, I lost it. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry. So I put the correct password in there, and so let's see what this looks like. Oh yeah, we were doing this. I mean, let me just refresh this and see if it does. Okay, so this is what the select statement looks like. Select, should I make it bigger? It is a select campus place cuisine from campus places, natural join place cuisines, where campus equals UHWM. Okay, so that is, um, let's see, yeah, all right, let's see. We're working on this one here. And so that returns all of the favorite places. And so let's see what that looks, how this fares with our test. And found it when nothing was specified. It returned the correct thing. You want it to return everything. It does. And then and it checks that. Then the second thing is it's tests for a particular campus, and that works. Test for a particular campus, that works. Test for a particular campus, that works. Test for a particular cuisine, and it didn't work. 26 records are returned, and it's only supposed to be 3. So it's not recognizing the cuisine. And same with place. It doesn't recognize place. So one way that you can do this, and so I'm going to start out with the brute force solution. So this is our search places program, and we have here, we've appended this SQL, we've appended where campus at the end of this SQL statement. So this variable in PHP, all variables are preceded with a $sign. SQL statement here, and what I do is I check to see if campus is anything. This stores the campus value. If there's something there, then I want to append on this where statement. The problem is now. So then, if let's say I want to then check cuisine, so I could do this. If cuisine is nothing, if cuisine is something, then I don't want to append another where, or do I? Because if campus is not there, then I want the where here. Yeah. So so you have to be clever. But before we get to clever, I'm going to start out with brute force. Okay. So there's 3 variables here. So that means that there's 8 possibilities, right? It's none is specified, only campus, only cuisine, only place, that's 4. And then campus plus cuisine, that's 5. Campus plus place is 6. And cuisine plus place is 7. And then all of them specified is 8. All right. So, but we don't really care about all of them. We only care about some of them. Okay. In the assignment, I gave you these examples, and if you were to just go and do the brute force for these well, I think this is all I test for in the test, the grader here. I test for see, I did the 3 campuses, and then I test for I tested for cuisine, Yeah, that's 3 campuses, and then I test the cuisine, and then I test a campus being specified and a cuisine being specified, and then that's it. Okay, so I think that's all I state here. A campus, a cuisine, oh, a place. I think I probably test that too. All right. So anyway, let's get started here. Let's just consider all these cases: campus, cuisine, place, campus, cuisine, and no arguments. So let's cover all those cases. Oh, it's down here. Okay. So it can either be just campus, and I'm going to do this. If campus is greater than nothing and cuisine is equal to nothing and place is equal to nothing, then it is something. Now, actually, these are all going to be mutually exclusive. So I actually don't need to have any deep, fancy, nested if statements. I can just do this. If that's the case, then I want this to be the where clause. If I'm going to get rid of this. So that's if campus is specified. And this is going to be if cuisine is specified, if place is specified, if campus cuisine is specified. And then the default case will be then if none are specified. So this would actually be a fine solution. So campus is nothing, cuisine is campus is equal to nothing, and cuisine is greater than nothing, and place is equal to nothing. So this would be cuisine is equal to cuisine. And then if this is equal to nothing and cuisine is equal to nothing, but place is greater than nothing, then it's going to be place. And this would be place. And if campus is greater than nothing and cuisine is greater than nothing and place is equal to nothing, then it's campus equals campus and cuisine equals cuisine. If we want to accept lowercase in this case, which is a perfectly reasonable thing. Oh, in fact, I think it will accept lowercase. I don't think I think the default is it's case insensitive. We can test it and see. But anyway, so let's see what this does. This might actually, if this is the answer, I'm going to be embarrassed. Okay, so I would save this, but actually I need to sneak and put my password in here. And then what happens when I do this? Okay, it looks like this covered all the cases. Okay, so that's that was easier than I thought it'd be. But anyway, I would like to do another method, and this other method would work if you wanted all of the cases to be counted. for example, if we want to, let's see with that. Let's see, I don't have to give you an example. Let me just tell you that we've covered, you know, campus and nothing else, cuisine and nothing else, place and nothing else, and then campus and then cuisine. Now, what if we wanted to know some other combination, like, okay, if cuisine, let's see, what, gee, I'm sorry, I guess in this example, I can't really think of another example, but an example of what I was trying to think of, but you can imagine that, let's say you wanted to also be able to include something like campus is nothing, cuisine is greater than nothing, and place is greater than nothing. Then in that case, you would want, you know, where cuisine is equal to cuisine and place is equal to place. Or if we wanted to know, if we wanted to specify all three of them. And if we had more variables, then it ends up, you know, growing by the square or something. So another way to do this is to create a second variable. Let me just get rid of all this. And I'm going to create a second variable called where. And I'm going to set that equal, start out setting that equal to nothing. And then I might say if campus is greater than nothing, then where, append onto where, I'm going to do this differently. Yeah, no, I have to do it that way. Append onto where and campus equals campus. Sorry. The field campus is equal to the string that. And then you can do, you can do this 3 more times. And so now, by the time you get down to here, where is going to be equal to a string that will have the, you know, field equals string value for every one where the string value is greater than nothing. Okay, now the problem with this string is that it's going to have this and right in front of it. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways that you can take care of that. And one way is you can say that you say if, because it's possible that where has nothing. If where is greater than nothing, then SQL is appended with You can do this. 1 and where. Okay. I tell you what, I'm gonna do this first. You do SQL is equal to, oops, I forgot the word where, equals to, let me just get this. Where, no, you have to put a little space there, make sure, where, I'm going to have to append onto that substring of where, starting with the 4th character. So this is going to be the substring of where, starting with the 4th character. In other words, it's going to skip off the first 4 characters. So it's going to skip off the first and. And of course, it's only going to do this if where is equal to something. So that means there's going to be an and in front of it. You have to have the where there. And so if I actually save this, so let me save it. Let's see if this works. Let's look at this. Let's look at let's go back here and let's do Italian. Oh, something didn't work. Line 29. Where's line 29? Oh, look at this. It's telling me. I forgot the semicolon, didn't I? It's telling me. I should have been paying attention. All right, let me pop in this thing again. Is this going to work? Oh, it does. Search places, and so the where clause was built correctly. There's a space there. That's okay, and it returned the one Italian place in. So I should be able to do this. I'm going to actually just copy this. Copy. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to put that in here and see what it looks like. Okay, yes, it works. So this is what the fully built where statement looks like. All right, so this shows you that each one of them can have a value. Anyway, so those are the 3 ways that you can solve the search problem, the search places problem, and you can pick whichever way you want. So I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.